Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, the gaming industry as a whole has so much crazy and also really fun to talk about drama, and thankfully this is all not necessarily bad drama too. This is kind of like that fun, gossipy, like we got some Tpain drama, we have some huge Battlefield news, we have some Final Fantasy news, we have people completely just spinning on other different types of games, and a little bit of sad news when it comes to some pretty big layoffs going on in the gaming sphere. So mostly good news, a little bit of sad news, but let's go talk more about the fun stuff, because some of the stuff is, well, really strange that I would never expect. Like, you don't usually typically see Tpain beefing with GTA 6 on random games most of the time. So if you guys want to, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and as well, we also have our Twitch stream too. We're probably live up on Twitch if you guys are bored. If you guys want to say hi, we'll hang out that out down below. So let's go dive on into some pretty fun and interesting gaming drama right now. So hello. First and foremost, I want to go talk about kind of the cooler news over here when it comes to Battlefield. Now, if you guys do or do not know, I've always been a big, even kind of fan of Battlefield 2042. You guys can judge me. I played a decent bit. I put like 100 hours into it. It wasn't the best game. I liked older Battlefields way better, but at the same time, it kind of clicked for me randomly. Even though there was a lot of bot lobbies and people fell off it really quick, I enjoyed my few weeks when I played it. But right now, we're actually seeing a little bit more brand new Battlefield news, where the next Battlefield game could actually have the most realistic destruction effects in the entire industry. And this makes me happy to see. If you guys actually had a chance to go check out the finals, they actually did have a chance to implement a lot more like base building, where they had like a chance to go through on these weird like cotton mushroom like crash pillow things, goo things. If you guys have played, you guys know what I mean. It was a chance to like break down walls and ceilings and move objectives in the game itself. I overall really liked it. It was really fun, and I enjoyed games with destruction. Think also games like BattleBit. Think old school games like Bad Company 2. And for this is what I like to go and see. If they want to go more realistic and they want to go a little bit more on the hectic side instead of the kind of fun arcadey style they had on 2042, I'm cool with this. Saying it's no secret that one of the most disappointing factors of Battlefield 2042 was its stark lack of destruction effects, which I agree on. Battlefield was always synonymous with destructibility, with players being able to bring down entire buildings with tanks, helicopters, and explosive weapons. In Battlefield 4, there is an entire game-changer mechanic called Levolution that saw maps altered midway through play as a result of huge destructive changes, and I like this. I like having a chance to see different effects and everything else tied on in. Thanks to a job listing that has surfaced from Ripple Effect, a studio working on the next Battlefield game, it seems that destructibility is making an epic return. So right now we have the VFX director in Canada stressing that the team is looking for senior 3D artists to create the most realistic and exciting destruction effects in the industry. It was then highlighted that a key part of the role will be to create, optimize, and hyper-realistic in-game VFX. And that's really crazy to go and see, because we necessarily know that the next Battlefield is being worked on, but as well, we're also seeing a big fun push-up that, like the game itself, is going to be hopefully a little bit more return to the roots, and I think that will be really nice for Battlefield folks. Now, the real scheme is that PlayStation go buy out Battlefield or EA and go and compete with, well, Xbox, but at the same time, we'll see how that ever goes and happens. Now, we have even more intriguing stuff where Tpain, the big daddy, the bartending king himself, is actually confirmed he's working on GTA 6, but also had a lot of drama with Grand Theft Auto 2 as well, saying that he actually couldn't really play a lot of GTA 5 on his stream, and stating that basically because he's working with GTA 6, I'm not really sure exactly what he's doing when it comes to GTA 6, because he wasn't allowed to say it, NDA, but I'd maybe assume, like, cool, you know how they have like those cool radio stations? I'd almost want to assume that he's in part of some of those, like maybe some custom music, maybe some custom, maybe like tracks, rap songs, or whatever it might be, and I think that'd be sick to go and see this. But this is where the drama comes on in, where Tpain is working on GTA 6, although because he's also a Twitch streamer on the side and has fun doing other stuff as well, he basically has now confirmed that he's bringing this, well, contribution to Rockstar's game, but he's also being kind of soft-locked and playing other various things. So he was doing a lot of stuff on NoPixel, which is a popular RP server. You basically play GTA, and they have mods, so they change up the game where you can go and have your character get like jobs. You have to go buy cars. You can like rob banks, and it's like, almost imagine it's a really more in-depth thing, because everyone else is also a role play. So you'll have like someone who's like, hey, I'm your cousin. We go and like do little missions together. Or hey, I have like a wife. Whatever people might go and do, they update the stuff all the time. They've had things like chemical labs and stuff. We could go basically make drugs and sell drugs. Like, it's really cool. It's a cool thing to get into. And obviously Tpain, as a Twitch streamer, wanted to go and play it and stream it. But sadly, he is not allowed. Rockstar was basically trying to go lay down the big NDA law, being like, hey man, like, you're cool, but The issue is we don't want you kind of, overly saturating people and your brand and everyone else with the game. Or what if you do like a cool rap or kind of memeing around or whatever it might be. And that's, I think, a big issue with this. Because he says, I used to be on No Pixel, then I started working on GTA 6, and they told me I couldn't do RP anymore because it kind of goes against, they had this whole speech like, what if somebody took your album and then re-recorded it, and then more people were listening to that? And I'm like, okay, I kind of get that, but I was having a good time. All right, that's fine. Which is weird because I almost feel like you'd want someone in the game such as Tpain, working with things like on the GTA RP stuff, because it brings more attention, brings more viewership, and it also makes his community of people that are on Twitch and on Twitter or like seeing TikToks or recognize his name to be more familiar with the GTA brand. Now, I'm sure most people out there know Tpain, and I'm sure most people out there also know GTA 6 is coming out. So it is kind of like a weird thing to have like a hard iron stand fist against it. And it's kind of crazy because they even hired the same modding team behind 5M and Red M, which is crazy. So they're basically saying Tpain cannot play the GTRP, but because he's working on GTA 6, but everyone else who made the GTA RP is quite literally working with Rockstar, and they're also still allowed to continue their day-to-day stuff. So obviously I'm sure T-Pain's upset about it, but I'm sure also the GTA 6 paycheck he's getting is probably not worth him complaining about it. Like, let's say you go and be on Twitch and you play some GTRP and you make, let's say, an extra 50 grand throughout the next year or so until the game comes out, and being a Twitch streamer, like T-Pain makes okay views, but he's probably not, like his main money is probably from like Spotify, YouTube streams, like record deal, all that type of stuff. He's making more money from that for sure. And same for GTA 6. He probably got paid a pretty good penny because a lot of folks know T-Pain. He's pretty popular on socials. He's had a lot of popular songs. He's still relevant as of the second. So, like, I'm sure he probably got I would say very strong 6-figure, if not very easy, multiple 7 figures, depending on how big the role is. If it's like a one-song thing, maybe 500K. If it's like a big soundtrack or character, or like he's guest starring, like I could see a lot more, depending on what's going on with the game itself. So obviously he's a little bit sad on this one too. He's saying like, hey, like then I started working on the game with them, and then they teamed up with the people that make the RP. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait, what? So basically he's saying like, hey man, what's up with this? Y'all can't tell me I can't do this, and then you team up with the people that enable the RP in the first place with him laughing. Now, I don't think he was hardcore, like, kind of anti against them, but it's crazy to go and see he was kind of blocked from it too in the first place. And as well, we even have a little bit more gaming drama, where if you guys know about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game coming out, this game is apparently going to be a big flop. Or as of right now, a lot of the restrictions from the game and the NDA had a lot of folks going and questioning what's going on with the game itself. And apparently with 100 people asked, a lot of folks said the game could be a 7 out of 10 or better, but overall a lot of the votes gave a 6 or 7 out of 10, which is very average, and in my opinion, when it comes to games as a whole, probably mediocre. Like if I see early playtesters giving a game out of 6 out of 10, I think that's kind of low. I think that's bad. It's kind of a warning sign, especially with how much of this game being delayed and other issues. This game may just be a massive skip, at least to me. And that's where things might be rough, because I do think a lot of people are also a little bit more on the like hardcore side. Like for me, if I get a bad game, I'll give it like a 4. And if I'm already seeing people with early access to the game, which will have a little bit of bias, and as well as reviewers, which as well also have a little bit of a bias, I'm not the biggest fan of this too. So 61% of the people said they wouldn't be buying Suicide Squad on release, and most people either wait for a sale or skip the game. And these are, once again, people who had early access to the game, which you'd assume a lot of them would enjoy the game, enjoy the experience a bit more rather than anything else. So very intriguing to go and see this nonetheless. Now, even some more kind of sad news over here too, and maybe we'll go and save the, just people like big layoff stuff to maybe a separate video, because it is going to be like I think a somewhat of a bigger topic. We may want to talk about this as maybe a bigger overarching topic too, on how the gaming industry is rough. But a lot of people over at Gearbox, who also did Borderlands, have also now been laid off. And this is also in combination with other big companies such as Microsoft, Google, PlayStation Studios, Bungie, and Embracer. A lot of various other big places also getting laid off, which is very scary to see. So, but one kind of, I guess, interesting note to see is for Final Fantasy 16 producer Yoshida said it may be time for the next generation for Final Fantasy 17. He's been very beloved, especially with his work on Final Fantasy 14, but as of right this second, a lot of folks are maybe assuming we need a little bit of a fresh blood for the next iteration of the game. Final Fantasy 16 did sell well, but it was a little bit more on the lower and slower game, a little bit lackluster too as well. And in terms of also sales, a bit lower too. They also had changes where they had to switch off the PS4 and go purely on PS5. And at this point, like, so we sometimes do want to see new, fresh blood when it comes to games. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments on this kind of big drama, especially the Tpain one. And as well, we are probably live up on Twitch, so go and say hi and follow down below. We have the Twitter as well, and subscribe with the notifications on it for YouTube. We'll have some more videos they're all probably tomorrow.